Alright, listen. I really enjoy this phone, but I think I'm gonna return it. Find out why later on in this video as I talk about what went well and what flopped. Alright, so we can get the cameras out of the way. The cameras on this phone are good, and the slight hardware bump and flagship level processor over the Phone 1 means that this phone is more capable at capturing higher detailed images and videos. In my experience with this phone, there is an improvement overall in detail and quality, but the computational software is all over the place. Many times I'll take a photo and it looks great, but after the phone processes the image, it ruins what it looked like. The processing often overly smoothens an image, making it look soft and less detailed, and then there's times where the processing causes you to miss the shot and produce a blurry mush of a photo. The selfie camera is great and is highly detailed. It does the job well. Video quality is actually really good with a good amount of detail and dynamic range, but the stabilization is super bad. If the phone is stationary or you're doing basic panning movements, footage looks proper, is decent enough. But personally, I was super excited for 4K 60 FPS, something that Phone 1 couldn't do, but I'm left disappointed because of the stabilization. Phone 1's stabilization mode is way better and is more usable even with the crop that it does to the image. In this short camera review, I would say it's a 7 out of 10 camera system. But isn't it crazy how phone reviews have basically become watered down camera reviews these days? Now let's talk about build quality. Phone 2 takes everything good about Phone 1 and refines it a bit more. The brushed aluminum edges look and feel good next to the transparent pillowed glass back. If the phrase premium feeling device was materialized, it would honestly come in the form of Phone 2. Phone 2 feels more comfortable and more premium than my S23 Ultra, my iPhone 13 Pro Max, my Z Fold 4, and now my current daily driver Z Fold 5. The screen is not the brightest 1080p panel and it doesn't have the highest pixel density or PPI, but it's a pretty good panel to my eyes. Using this phone's display to watch videos or play games doesn't leave me missing the higher resolution screen of my S23 Ultra. Outside visibility is pretty good, although as I alluded, it's not the best. But speaking on being the best in a category, this phone's battery life rivals even the Pro Maxes, the Ultras, and the Pluses out there. Depending on who you are and how you use your phone, you can easily get 1.5 days of battery life. For me, I averaged around 6 to 8 hours of screen on time with moderate to heavy usage. Even on the heaviest days, Phone 2 never died on me by the time I was ready for bed each day. Being able to charge at a maximum of 45 watts, you can charge this phone up to 60% in a half hour and up to 100% in just a little over an hour. Wireless charging works well and heats up the phone less than it did on Phone 1, so this phone checks all the boxes when it comes to battery life and charging in my opinion. So everything I talked about this far could be applicable to many other smartphones out there. So what makes the Nothing Phone 2 unique or stand out compared to its competitors? One obvious thing that makes it unique is the heart of the transparent design, the glyph lights. Gimmick or feature, these uniquely laid out lights allow the phone to outshine its competitors in its own way. You can use the glyph lights to start a timer that visually shows the progress meter for the timer, so you know when it's going to run out. You can use them as a softer but still effective flashlight, or even a fill light for your cameras instead of using the harsh flash. The main glyph features is setting a unique pattern for different contacts in your phone, so that way you know who's calling just by the way the glyphs light up. And on top of that, there are many ringtones that you can select that have specific glyph patterns attached to them. You can also create your own ringtones and glyph patterns using the glyph composer. Watch this. This is a small feature, but it allows further customization and it's pretty cool to be honest. Of all the glyph light features, Flip to Glyph is my personal favorite. This is basically a quick and easy way to start Do Not Disturb on your phone while still being aware of important notifications through the glyph lights. Other phones can also turn on Do Not Disturb if you flip them over, but if you want important notifications to come through, you have to set them to work during Do Not Disturb. One advantage to Flip to Glyph versus other phones face down Do Not Disturb is that all sounds and vibrations are muted. This allows you to focus or not be entirely interrupted while still seeing if you're receiving a call or if an important notification came through. With the essential notifications, you can set specific apps as essential, which will keep one of the glyph lights on until you flip over the phone and deal with that notification. Basically, with Flip to Glyph, you'll always know if something important is going on, but at the same time not being distracted by your phone screen and potential interruptions. Some people also critique the functionality of the glyphs because the phone has to be face down, which brings concerns of screen damage. But to be honest, this is not an issue. The phone comes with a pre-installed screen protector, and even if it's not the most scratch resistant screen protector, your actual screen is still being protected. Most people buy a tempered glass screen protector for their phones anyways, so I'm not sure why this is an issue. And if you're using a case, a good case will have a slightly raised lip to make it Slamboy certified if you get me. In my opinion, the glyph lights are a subtle quality of life improvement to your daily smartphone usage and a cool design choice in terms of aesthetics. But obviously there's more to this phone than the glyph lights. So some of the other things that make this phone unique is its software. It offers a very stock-like experience, clean and free of any unwanted apps or ads. On top of being very clean, nothing seems committed to adding useful features that will improve your quality of life. One of those unique features is the ability to add quick toggles as widgets on your home screen or lock screen. Basically, this allows you to activate certain things without even swiping down into your quick toggle menu. One hack that I've learned is using this feature to set the glyph timer as a widget, so that way I can quickly use that feature without fully going into settings to activate it. Other quick toggle widgets I like to use are Wi-Fi, mobile data, rotation lock, extra dim, and more. Being able to just tap these things on my home screen or lock screen is game changing, and it allows me to quickly activate key things that heavily impact my smartphone usage. Another cool thing to me about these widgets is that when you add them to your lock screen, they also show up on your always on display. Although you can't use them when your screen is off and always on display is showing, but I feel like this can be added in a software update. Another cool thing is that you can customize folders. You can basically customize the way they're shaped, the way they look, and you can put these little icons on top of them. They have their preset icons, and then you can also use a bunch of different emojis, basically all the emojis, but like nothing style. When the folders are showing the apps inside of them, you can tap on them on the outside of the folders to launch those apps quickly, or tap the little circle to open the whole folder. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Some more customization. The way Nothing OS handles floating windows is also nice. Being able to just swipe up into a floating window at any moment with any app is very convenient. It allows me to queue up for a game and do other things on my phone until the game starts without missing the start of the game. There are plenty of use cases for floating windows, like having a calculator handy or a web page when you need to reference it, that I pretty much use every single day. With 12 gigs of RAM, this phone easily handles multitasking with up to 3 apps on the screen at one time. Using this phone every day is as smooth as its thin symmetrical bezels. I haven't really experienced any issues outside of occasionally getting stuck on the notification shade where I have to lock the screen or enter the settings app from the quick toggles to get unstuck. Going a little bit more into performance, Nothing Phone 1 had enough power to play the games that I play at max graphics, so the Phone 2 has more than enough power for me. It literally has the best processor from last year's flagship phones and even some flagships that dropped at the beginning of this year. Power and efficiency is not a problem for this phone, and I think it'll be able to keep up with other phones for a long time. The animations on this phone are some of the smoothest in any smartphone, even rivaling the iPhone's animations. Navigating this phone feels so nice because of the perfect balance between animation length and instantaneous transitions. So here are my final thoughts. I've honestly enjoyed my time with this phone to the point where I tried to make myself keep it, but in the end I had to get rid of it. It's such a great device in almost all categories, but it lacks in 2 ways that I just can't get past. The first is that I can't use external mics in the camera app. This was an issue with Phone 1 that I thought would be fixed for sure with the Phone 2, but nah, it hasn't been fixed. The phone is fully capable of using external mics, as this works with other apps, but I guess this is a feature that is too niche for them to care about. The second reason is a combination of the inconsistencies in the camera processing and the minimal improvements over Phone 1's cameras. Nothing Phone 2 has really good cameras, but they're barely better than Phone 1's. And if I'm being honest, with the inconsistent beta-like image processing, I've seen instances where Phone 1 performed better than Phone 2. The Nothing Phone 1 has been out for a year and its camera has improved over that time. So maybe Phone 2 will improve as well, but as someone who owns and enjoys the Nothing Phone 1, I can't justify spending $1,000 Canadian on such a marginal upgrade. But yeah, this is the tale of a phone that was almost perfect but fell short when it really mattered, for me at least. If you enjoyed this video, then click these boxes to check out my other videos on Nothing Phone 1 and subscribe to see an upcoming camera comparison between Nothing Phone 1 and Nothing Phone 2. But until then, we out. Peace.